Hey, good morning, everybody. Afternoon. It's not morning. Welcome to the Denver and Rio Grande Western Iron Horse Route, my N-scale model railroad channel. We are live. It's for documentation archive purposes. It is July 16th, 2019. Got 4 or 5 people with us, which is nice. It could be that going on in the afternoons a little bit later, we could get a little more activity going with some other people due to schedules and those kind of things. For June, we went on early, 10:55 Central, 10:25 Central, around that, and it worked well. And we got a real good group of people that were getting together. And I feel like I have something on my face. Sorry. And here lately, my schedule, the way it's been working out, is it's really better for me to come on a little bit later. And we got 4 or 5 people in here, which is cool. Hey, John, Don John, and William, Bill. We got Art, Fernando. It's good to see y'all. I think Steve will probably not be with us today. He is happily preparing for his trip to Train Mountain. Y'all doing all right today? Fernando, I thought I'd lost you, but while I got you, still here. Well, you knew that wasn't gonna work. All right, Fernando. That's 9. Hey, Colin. Fernando, that's 9 millimeters. And what Art was saying is that O is 16.5. So almost twice that, which is really similar to what we use over here in America, our most common scale, which is HO, which is really close to that. John and Art are both HO modelers. Dave, myself, Bill, Steve are in. Colin's HO, if I'm not mistaken. I watched some of his stuff, but if I'm not mistaken, Colin is HO, and then Claude is HON3 and something else combined. Fernando, please don't ask me to describe that. Y'all just give me for a second. I gotta blow my nose. I'm sorry to be so descriptive, but all right, I'm also really glad I went over there and I turned that air purifier off. I keep that. It actually keeps my humidity level about perfect out here. How are we with volume and buffering and all that stuff? If I'm not mistaken, we might be connected through my Logitech capture system. And if that is the case, I can do some camera changes and stuff. But I figured everything out hooking up Logitech capture to YouTube without using a OBS or something like that, because it's got the capabilities. And so I figured out how to do it. But the problem that I'm having is YouTube doesn't want the Logitech capture software open when I'm scheduling the stream or I'm setting the stream up, and it won't allow it to be open, so I've got to close it. Well, then it's showing the webcam. It's still using the C920, but it's not using the software. And so then when I can go change it to the Logitech capture, where I'd be able to do all the camera changes and picture in picture and all that stuff. I can change it to there, And then it says, well, we don't see Logitech Capture, and that's because it's not open. So I can go open it, and then it'll see it. But typically, at that point, sometime between there and live, I lose the connection somehow, and I don't know exactly what's going on, but I almost figured it out. I spent a lot of time today doing it. So we got Fernando and Kylan and John and Bill and Art. I'm glad to have y'all. Didn't really have any major topics today. I just wanted to come on and visit a little bit. I have been working on my diorama. Just for a sec. Well, that's too bright. I can't win with that. I have been working on the diorama. This white is brand new, and it is more water effects from Woodland Scenics, which is kind of what I wanted to talk to y'all about today. Bill, where's he got to go? Oh, I see what he's saying. All right. Colin, thank you. All is looking good. Volume good. All right. Since everything's going well and we have Claude's not here, Steve's not here, a few of them's not here. Didn't mean to not mention anybody, but we might be at a better time for Shannon Tapia, although he's got a brand new baby, so he doesn't have time to probably come on too much. Maybe I should text Shannon. Let him know we're on. Anyway, I'm going to try to Logitech Capture the software to see if it'll turn on. And I don't think I'll lose y'all. Worst case scenario, we're going to have a bunch of buffering and crap like that. In which case, hopefully I can just close it and we'll go back to a good picture. I do have that other light over here off, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It's kind of cozy feeling in here with this light. It's not as hey Dave, wait, I'm thinking. Okay, it is Dave. Whose trains, so whose username is something trains and their name's not what it is? That's a tough one. And now, because of that, everybody that's got trains in their name, I like do a double take every time because I don't want to call anybody the wrong name if I can help it. And my man Dave in the house. Good to see you, brother. How are you today? And, you know, I wonder if it has anything to do with where I'm plugged in the USB port I'm plugged into, because I've got some USB ports that are, I've got 6 USB ports in this computer, and 4 of them are 1.0 if I'm not mistaken, and 2 of them are 2.0. And 2.0 sounds a lot better. I just don't know how I don't know how to know when I'm plugged into one of those. John made a comment just a minute ago that the picture was clear today, and so I wonder if I'm plugged into one of those faster ports. Roy, what's up, bud? I actually haven't interacted with you much lately. You been busy or something, or hadn't been live, or either I hadn't been seeing that you're live. All right, John. John is telling. Ooh, John, you're giving me good news, aren't you? What you're telling me is that we got to figure out which ports have 2.0, right? and use those? Well, I don't remember if I saw that or not, Roy. But if it was, that's the last time I've hung out with you at all. So I'm glad you stopped in today. Is what I was trying to say. Dwight, Roy, we were just talking about that. I have a light off, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to go turn it on, and let's get a consensus. It feels really warm and cozy in here. Not necessarily hot, but it's like nighttime cozy. The problem is it's the middle of the day. But yeah, let's turn that light on and see what happens. All right. I can already tell you it's a whole lot better this way, but I like it better the other way. But it is a whole lot better this way. We ain't changing it. And we do, I might be in a better port. Wouldn't you say, John? Something's going on because we do got a good picture. God, I hate to even play around with the other stuff, but I wonder if it's already really connected to it. And that's why we're getting a better picture. Art, it is a Dell all-in-one computer, and it is about 4 and 4.5 years old. I did get it brand new, but it was 4.5 years ago. And I believe, if I am not mistaken, it's got, I know it's got 6 ports. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a variety of ports, and that variety being 1 and 2. And if I'm not mistaken, there's 2 2s and 4 1s. There are to I guess to answer what your question is, I think I might be old enough to have some 1.0s. And so as a result, if I'm using them, I bet it's awful. Yeah, it's pretty hot here too, Roy. It's been raining so much that everything's really wet. And so when it's the sun's leaning on everything, it's steaming basically. And even if it's not, Dave's 104 degrees, when you got a 91-degree temperature with steam coming off the ground, that ain't no fun. It's awful. Like you're saying, you walk, it's like, oh, okay, Art. So I could have my numbers off, and that's very possible. I really do. It's very possible I got my numbers off. I just noticed some of them are. So I just seems like when I was reading it. I mean, this is 4.5 years ago, but I do remember when I was reading it that some are faster than others. And well, the good news is, Roy, your sweat should be much cleaner after showering. That comes out. I don't know if that made any sense because that's coming from internal. But I'm actually, I got this new stuff that doesn't go on clear. That kind of scares me. I don't. I like the stuff that goes on clear better. Now this is supposed to dry crystal clear. This is actually the stuff that you put on the. You can put on the wax paper too, and let it dry for the actual waterfall. John, remember you and I had talked about the caulk being good for that, which that's something I wouldn't mind getting into. Um, Definitely would like to do that, and it's worth discussion as well. It's not a bunch of crap. Okay, God, I'm sorry I yelled. I felt like I was at work for a minute. All right, you have all three of these products. Okay, they're from Woodland Scenics. You start out with the water ripples. They're priced at $18, and I got it for $3. This is the thinnest, and it is clear, and it is not a whole lot thicker than the crystal clear pour water. It is thicker, but it's not a ton thicker. Next, you have the waves. Same scenario all the way around, basically, but thicker. This one is yet even thicker. You got clear pour water thickness, you've got ripples thickness, you've got waves thickness, and then if I'm not mistaken, you go to this, and this is actually designed to be dried or to be used as a gel and dries clear, but I would say the thickness of this is between the waves and the ripples. All right, now I said all that. I wasn't trying to waste y'all's time. I said all that to tell y'all this. Y'all like my plug? All right. If I could find a way to thin this and not jack up the polymer structure, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't like alcohol. You cannot thin it. I've not been successful thinning it with alcohol. But what I'm telling you is, if I were able to control the viscosity of this is a $7 bottle, six and change. It's huge. $7, that'd be 50 in the store. I'd say that'd be worth 30. But if we had a similar product to work with that was just like this DAP crystal clear, because this DAP crystal clear looks just like the water. All right, so I've got to use it in this thickness, or I'm not able to use it, and it takes paint well. I actually used the DAP caulk on top of the crystal clear pour water to make the paths of the rushing water. Then I went on top of the DAP with the ripples. Then I went on top of the ripples with the waves. Now, I kept them kind of tame, but I've got the DAP in here with this now. And so it's interacting with all these products. I mean, if I could control the viscosity, there's no need in having the other stuff. Now, I'm going to look at chat and see if any of y'all are talking about that. I hope you are. Well, that guy, Luke APS, he has a product, but I don't know that we have it available like at Home Depot or anything here. But he has a product. Now, he's using 99% alcohol to thin it. You think maybe because I didn't use 99% alcohol to try to thin that's why it all like turned to mush and like broke up almost. The Waves is the silicone, Roy, basically the exact same thing. So how do we thin it? Can we thin it? But Roy said don't buy that. Buy the $2 silicone caulk, and I guess as long as it's crystal clear. So, I mean, okay. Not on Luke APS, brother. Luke APS thinned his out, Dave. If you're talking about that, I hope we're talking about the same thing. But Luke APS used 99% alcohol, and he actually said, you got to use 99. And he thinned his whatever that. It's a caulk. It looks just like caulk. But he said something. But water, I never tried water. Duh. What if water works, Dave? I'm not going to delete this stream if water works, but I'm going to wish I deleted. I'm going to wish I could, but I would not take that glory away from Dave. But mineral spirits I have as well. These are probably experiments that wouldn't be bad to do live if I were prepared. They would not be good to do live unprepared. I need my stuff laid out and everything, but that'd be something cool to do. How about we do that tomorrow? If I'm, oh wait, I'm going to try to go live tomorrow, and if I do, by around the same time, and if so, I've got everything here to do that. I'm going to get the materials together, and I might even try to get some other stuff. So what's been suggested? Water, mineral spirits, 99% isopropyl, which I don't have 99. Is 90 all right? Does it really matter? Because I didn't try 99. I used 70. Because the store I was in only had, I was in a grocery store and I was out of isopropyl. And so I just grabbed some because they had a 70%. So Dave, you know what I'm talking about. It's he had a jug of 99% isopropyl that looked like he could have run a lawnmower for a month and a half. He had a can of it. Luke APS did, and I think Dave knows what I'm talking about. Dave of Dave's Trains knows what I'm talking about. Maybe they can get it there. We can't get it here. But I'm going to tell you what. Okay. Trying to think. Water. I'm gonna do water. I'm gonna do mineral spirits. 90%. Maybe we'll do that. I'll do a 70. I'll do a 90, and I doubt I can get a 99. It sounds like I'm not gonna be able to get a 99. I'm gonna tell you, Dave. 70% don't work. It turns to this clumpy but fall apart. It doesn't. It's weird. Well, Dave, that would be cool. Like I say, the thing is, I got an excellent deal on those products, and they are fantastic, and all of them work wonderfully together. I just happened to stumble on them at 85% clearance. And I actually was able to get the stuff from two different, I got paid and I got what I could afford. I spent like $13 on two of the clear waters, the big ones. And then I got paid again. I went in and I spent about another $13 on the ripples, waves, and water effects. So, Roy, I'm wanting to thin the silicone because I've used the silicone on my mini diorama and it looks just like waves, like you pointed out earlier. Okay, and what I had shown them earlier is that all the water effects I got on clearance from Hobby Lobby, they all come in various, basically they're all the exact same product. They're just thinned out. Ripples is the thinnest. No, the clear pour water is the thinnest. Ripples is next. Then you're right, the waves is basically just like silicone. And then the DAP 3.0, they're almost identical. And then you have the waterfall stuff, which is white, and it's kind of a different thickness. It's between the waves and the ripples. All right, Colin, good to have you back. Dave, wait. Dave, did you get this right here for $7 too? Because if so, that means they got them. They're doing that at all of them. Mod Podge to thin it, to thin the silicone, or you use it in place? I'm very interested to see Dave. Okay, Dave. I mean, unless I'm misreading it, y'all. Dave of Dave's Trains said, "I just got some clear pour at Hobby Lobby for $7." Let me explain something to y'all. I doubt very seriously that Dave of Dave's Trains and I live in the exact same town. Okay. I figured maybe they were just clearing it to make a new display or something like that. But if Dave of Dave's Trains just got the clear pour water for 85% off, just like I did, that means they're doing it at all of them. My suggestion to you is at these prices, why would y'all not go get this stuff? I mean, if you've got $15, you could go get this. This is valued at 3 times 18, which is $56. Now, I'm not saying it's worth $56, but you can get this for less than $15 right now at your local Hobby Lobby, is what it sounds like. Dave, my adventure, my life adventure that started about the age of 18 and a half, I actually talk about it in the history of my line, started all due to a trip to Over Gatlinburg in Tennessee. We went for Christmas when my freshman year in college. And when we were there, they make snow anyway, but when we were there, we spent a week there. And when my friend and I were there, it snowed like 14 inches over 5 days. And maybe not quite that much. I could be exaggerating. Maybe it was 8 or 6. It was a lot. They got a lot of snow during the 5 days that we were there. So it made for excellent skiing, even for beginners and stuff. And so we fell in love with skiing right there somewhere near you. I know Tennessee's a big state, but I was over there on the northeast part at Over. And that's the thing. I bought, I didn't buy any duplicates, which maybe I should have, but y'all, I'm telling you, I can use this. I can use the silicone. I could have used the silicone for the water. That would have been a little bit okay. One of the things I saw that Luke APS did do with his silicone is once he laid some out, he was able to spray it with the isopropyl and lay it and thin it kind of too. But that might be because he was using the 99. I was in Gatlinburg, my man Dave. I was, and this would have been 96, 97. And man, we went home and got a bunch of friends and headed back up there. And we went home and then we went to West Virginia, then we went to Colorado, and then we went to Winter Park. And bing. That's my 3-part history series, kind of in a nutshell. Actually, just part 1 is on the that story. 40% off entire regular price July. Oh. Hey, Heavy Jake. I'm not sure what you're LOLing, but it's good to see you, Heavy Jake. How you feeling? Was that supposed to be is Fernando? Oh, I hear you, Roy. Thank you. That's cool. And Mod Podge is actually pretty reasonable if you buy a bigger quantity at once. You just kind of get, if you just buy a small bottle, you kind of. I don't have a lot of success in Michaels with the model railroad stuff that I usually need. I don't. But I do think I got that cork roll. That's the closest thing to Midwest Products cork. Midwest Products cork is 1/10 of an inch thick, I think, or 1/8. And Michaels does have a roll of cork that's 1 1/10. That's 1/10. So it's real close. I mean, I don't. My train, when the train goes over it, I don't even notice any kind of transition or anything. Well, I don't, Roy. If you can keep the polyurethane contained, it's gonna dry as looking like water. I'm telling you. The problem is it's gonna take it forever to dry. I remember I made a project when I was real young, and this kind of what makes me think of this. I made a gun cabinet in shop, and yeah, you imagine that? We were allowed to make gun cabinets in school back then, and so I put so much poly on it that it took forever to dry, but it had a thick, thick, thick coat, and it does. Bill, can you elaborate on that? Bill said they made bowls. I'm assuming that he's talking about the hold, maybe something. I mean, I'm sure that the Mod Podge PVA, um, alcohol mixture like paper mache bed to hold it too. Anything that'll hold the polyurethane it's fine as long as it'll pool in it. It's just going to take forever to dry. I would think it's going to take forever to dry. And I guess you wouldn't have to do it extremely thick as long as you had the impression of depth. What I'm finding on mine is I want it to be a little bit wider, maybe than prototypical, but I still have some areas that are definitely as narrow, if not more narrow than prototypical, 12, 15 feet. So I've got some areas that are about 50 feet across too, and not many, but that's pushing my prototype. Yeah, Fernando, HO and N are close in price. This started out as a $22 Yard Boss Bachmann train set. And I actually have a video of my Bachmann 060 running around this layout almost just like this. And I also have a video almost pretty much ready to go that shows the Bachmann Yard Boss train set on this table bare. It is a loop that I bought, 6 extra straight Bachmann snap or whatever they're called pieces. And right before I let y'all go this afternoon, I'm gonna try to see if I can switch my camera to that. I don't want to mess up the stream right now, and because I fought all morning, not all morning, I fought for about an hour and a half this afternoon getting trying to get this capture connected. Because one of the reasons I bought this the Logitech C920 camera is because it comes with the free capture software, and the free capture software is advertised as this will connect directly to YouTube. You don't need another, what are they called, Roy? Whatever OBS is. I don't have to put in a stream key. I'm not supposed to have to do anything with this Logitech capture software. And I have almost figured that out. But what'll be really cool is if all that works, I'll have all the functionality of that stream that I deleted a while back when I did the OBS Studio. I'll have all the functionality of the camera angles and switches and changes and all that I was able to show y'all in that video. I did delete it, but without the OBS issues. And that's the reason I bought this. I mean, this is a $40 camera. And I read for 40 bucks, I can get this. I can get, now this was 8 months ago. I can get this. I can get free software, and it's going to connect to YouTube without the other thing that you got to basically pay for, because OBS is awful. At least has been in my experience, because I don't have a very fast operating system. I don't have a lot of RAM. Yeah, I mean, I remember I shopped for a while. I shopped for about a month because I didn't really know if I was going to get a train set or not. And I shopped and shopped and shopped. And this one Bachman yard boss train set, like new. And I mean, it looked new. It really did. I bid $22 on it and won. Actually, I think I bid 26 and I won for 22. So Fernando, for 22 American dollars, I got started out at N-Scale. I'm not going to say you're going to find the same deal. I kind of got lucky. I did buy a used set, and I got very lucky because I could have easily bought a used set and not been so lucky and not been successful and got me frustrated. One thing that I would recommend, depending upon your budget, Fernando, is if you're going to do N-Scale and you want a train set, my suggestion to you is to get a Kato set with diesel. Whatever the cheapest thing is, Kato's, K-A-T-O, Kato, a diesel locomotive, because I say that because they're very easy to work on if you need to. They're very easy to assemble and disassemble. I am not a mechanically inclined type fellow, really, is particularly with small workings of gears and those kind of things. And the steam engine was what attracted me to the hobby in general, but that once it started giving me problems, I was really unable to work on because I was so inexperienced. So my suggestion is, if you could afford it, find a cheap Kato, K-A-T-O set. And you're not gonna find one real cheap, probably $100. But that would be a nice clean start that you could really build from, and you probably wouldn't end up scrapping all of it like I have here. There's nothing on my track right now that's from the original set. So what I would have done had somebody told me where I'd be today is I would have bought a Kato diesel train set. Yeah, I mean, it's acrylics, right, Roy? They're just pouring acrylics. That's not polyurethane they're pouring. They're pouring acrylics. Unless I'm mistaken. Good evening, Fernando's parents. We are a PG channel. We are happy to have him, and we've been talking to him about a new train set. I cannot do that at this time, Roy. I would think not. Stand by a moment. Sorry about that. I have a cam to the my house and thought I heard something up there. I might have to go check if I hear anything else. Fernando's parents, goodbye. We thank you for checking in. We are a PJ channel again. No profanity is tolerated, permitted. Being ugly to each other, not tolerated or permitted. Habla español, habla inglés. Fernando's parents. It's captioned at the end, but it's not now. I don't think. Dave, you help others for sure. You help me a lot. All right, everybody. It has been wonderful. Unfortunately, I am going to have to wrap it up. My dog's kind of acting like somebody's at the door or something, so I'm going to go up and check. I appreciate y'all for stopping in today. I do intend to get with y'all at some point tomorrow, and we're going to try to thin that silicone. Thank y'all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good day.